This is Lagers and Loudmouths, conversations unfiltered.
Welcome, thinkers and drinkers. We are on to a special episode today. This is our 1-year anniversary, episode 26 today. So we're going to actually kind of have a different format, but before we get to that, Tyler, this is Lagers and Loudmouths after all, so what are we drinking?
Yeah, absolutely. We are drinking Periphery Hazy IPA, which is actually a collaboration between Bearded Iris Brewing and Highwire. It is a 6.5% New England style IPA with 40 IBUs, 3.68 rating on Untapped. The description says, look beyond the center and unlock your senses in an ethereal tapestry of tangy passion fruit, bright citrus, peach rings, and tropical pina colada fermented on Kolsch yeast.
It's a lot of things going on.
Yeah, it's a lot going on.
Peach rings, like the candy?
Yes.
Nice.
Have you tasted it yet? What do you think?
No, I saw it. Actually, it's not overwhelming. That when you read that description, it sounds overwhelming, but it's not at all. It's actually got a good flavor to it.
Yeah, it's got a very bright flavor. Like
it is
light, bright, fruity.
I'm trying to get the peach rings. I'm not getting the peach rings.
I'm getting the tropical fruits for sure. I can see where they got like a pina colada, like a pineapple or something like that. But
you remember the first year you did Hoppy Possum, the beer you lost to?
Yes, the
Peach Rings.
the Peach Ring IPA.
Yeah,
that was
Peach Ring IPA.
That was a phenomenal beer.
It was really good.
He really killed that one.
Yeah.
But that being said, that's what we're drinking today. Very excited. It's a very tasty beer.
Yeah. Shout out to Matt. Matt gave this one to us.
Yes, Matt Wilkie. Thank you so much for this generous donation of alcohol. But that being said, Cam, why don't you explain to us what we're doing today? This is a little bit of a different episode.
Yeah, so normally we've kind of got the serious topic, the fun topic, but we thought 1-year anniversary, we want it to be mostly fun. There might be a few serious things in here, but it's going to be mostly fun as a kind of a celebration to making it 1 year. We have done 26 episodes.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Pros and cons. I mean, we've learned a lot, I think, for sure. Like I said, we were talking about this before coming on air. I think our first podcast is shit. So if you're listening to us, don't go by that one. Move your way on up the list a little bit. We've gotten better as we've gone. So no, it's good. I've learned a lot. It's been a good learning experience. I think it's good. Like I said, I teach for a living, so I'm used to talking all the time. But even this has kind of helped me in that realm because you're talking about something you're not always comfortable with.
Right. And I think that's good. And I've said this many times on the podcast, but that's kind of what the whole premise of this was, is to kind of think outside the box, maybe, put your opinions to the side and, try to objectively learn something. And, there's been a couple times on this podcast where my opinion's been swayed just by the conversations we have down here. So
for sure.
I think it's really cool.
Yep. All right, so with that being said, our episode it's going to be, I guess random as shit.
It's going to be definitely random,
Random
for sure.
as shit is kind of the way we're going to go about it. So we've got, so what we did is we solicited some questions from all of our wonderful Facebook fans. If you are not following us, just look us up, Lagers and Loudmouths on Facebook. It seems to be getting much more hype than the Instagram. So stick with Facebook, and we tend to get better interaction there. So we've got a bunch of random questions from there. And on top of that, we've got a few just kind of reflection type questions that are going to kind of take us back through the first year of Lagers and Loudmouths. So yeah, that's kind of the format.
Hell yeah, man. Let's get this rock and rolling.
All right. So since we're having a beer and this is Lagers and Loudmouths, let's start with that. I wanted to reflect back on your favorite beer over the, I guess at this point, 26 beers we've had.
Yeah. So honestly, out of all the beers we had, I really can't think of one that I was like, this is not good. No, I feel like everything.
We've gotten some good ones.
Yeah, everything we've drank on the podcast has been really, really good. I like all of them for different reasons, but the one that stands out in my mind is Betty's Blueberry Cobbler by Zool.
That was a good one.
That was a good episode.
And I'm not a sour fan.
No,
but it was a good beer.
Yeah, Zool sours are a little different, so we won't get into that. But overall, the can art was cool. It tastes delicious. I like blueberries and pie and stuff like that too. So it kind of just all melded together perfectly for me, and that's really my top pick.
Yeah, and that was the episode with Leslie, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. We'll talk about that.
We had a
later.
bunch of sex jokes about Betty.
Yeah, of course she is fine. Actually, I have a Betty's Blackberry Cobbler in the fridge that we need to have somebody on. It's 4-pack, so we can't do that one by ourselves.
No, we got to share that.
And that's I'm sure it's going to be equally as good as the blueberry.
Oh yeah.
I prefer blackberry over blueberry, so I'm hoping it'll be better.
Yeah. So what's your favorite beer?
All right, my favorite beer, we're going way back to I genuinely don't remember which episode. It's like 2, 3, 4, somewhere in that range, so pretty early on. But you remember when we went to Asheville last year?
Yes.
Just that nice overnight trip. And we went to White Labs.
Yes.
White
Ooh,
Labs.
the White Labs Marzen.
The White Labs Mars.
Oh, that was...
that Oktoberfest. I was sitting there sifting through all of our episodes earlier today thinking about this, and I was like, man, I really like that. And if there was one beer like I would go out of my way to try to get again, it would be that one, that White Lab Marzen.
That was phenomenal.
And their beers in general were good.
Yeah, I mean they're primarily a yeast lab manufacturer, so the brewing thing is kind of like a side thing for them. So anything that they come up with, I would expect to be phenomenal. And that pick doesn't really surprise me for you because
I've talked about Marzens a lot.
I feel like your favorite beer style is a Marzen.
Oh, 100%. I think we talked about that in some episode somewhere. Definitely Marzen is my favorite, and they killed it with that Marzen.
Yeah.
And we had I think it was they call it like a Frankenstout or something while we were there.
The Frankenstout yeast is what I bought.
You bought the yeast,
yes.
But they actually had a stout with it when we were there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I remember.
It was really good. So I have not checked into White Labs, see how they're doing after the hurricane. Hopefully they're doing well. But,
yeah, we need to get back out
there.
Yeah, we need to make a trip back out there once everything kind of settles down over there.
There's a lot of places still suffering. So if you've not checked it out, just try to give to some hurricane reliefs over there. There's still a lot of people doing a lot of cleanup and fixing. So yeah, Oktoberfest, White Labs, my favorite by far.
Yeah.
I need to find it again. Actually, Untapped says it's no longer in production, which is kind of sad.
Well, it makes sense because
different year.
It's out of the kind of Marzen season, right? We're in it, but they're not brewing it right now. Everything that has been brewed is already being consumed.
My guess with White Labs is they'll try it with a different yeast. So technically, that one that we had might never actually be back in.
It might not. It should be because it's a banger. But
it was. All right, so favorite beer. Yeah, share with us your favorite beer, guys, in the comment section. Slide into our DMs.
Even if it's Natty Light, we want to hear about it.
We won't judge you outwardly. Actually, we probably will, but that's cool too. That's fine. That's what we're here for, right? All right, so let's mix it up. So let's go to one of our Facebook questions.
All right. The Wild West.
The Wild West. So again, you guys submitted these questions. Our fans, our adoring fans.
All 6 of them.
It's literally our friend group, but that's okay.
Well, hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, we'll take whatever we get.
Beggars can't be choosers.
All right, I'm starting with your mom.
Okay.
Mary Lou, and this one was not actually a question. It was a picture of a giraffe wearing a bow tie. Would the bow tie be at the top around its head, or like close to
right underneath the chin?
Right underneath the chin, or basically right above the body where the neck kind of connects to the body?
Yeah. I think this is it's a, like Cam said, picture of a giraffe with 2 bow ties, and they're saying which one is the correct method for a giraffe to wear.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, I don't think this is a debate to me. I think photo 2, where the bow tie is just above the shoulder line on the bottom of the neck.
Absolutely wrong.
You
it's
think?
Got to be number one. Have you ever worn? Oh, you've never worn a bow tie, but
have you ever wore a bow tie right above your Adam's apple?
It goes right. No,
the bow tie is right here, right in the middle of the chest.
It does. It's where it connects to your body.
It's just above the shoulders.
But in looking at this picture, it looks more official if you look at the first one. That to me, that looks right.
I disagree.
That's fair. That's fair.
I mean,
what if we put it kind of halfway in between?
No, that's more wrong than either of those two. No, my whole thing was when a human wears a bow tie, it's kind of equal with the shoulder line, right where the neck meets the torso.
Right. I'm thinking of Bill Nye right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you had Bill Nye and you had it right underneath your chin, like that's not how you wear a bow tie. And I think it's easier to. I mean, a human's neck is significantly shorter than a giraffe's neck, so it's exaggerated in that photo.
It is.
I think it's right, where your neck meets your torso.
I was going based on looks, but your explanation does sway me a little bit because technically, again, if Bill Nye's wearing a bow tie, it's kind of sitting where the neck meets the body. All right, I'll succumb. I will take number one or number 2 is the correct answer.
Now I keep looking at this photo. And I kind of do agree with you. The first image where the bow tie... It just
feels more official, doesn't it?
It looks more correct, but you're also looking at it through the eyes of, how a human would wear it.
That's not a human.
That's it's not. It's not, but...
I know. This is why this is a debate.
I'm still very firm on my answer, but
You could be swayed?
No, I don't think I can be swayed, but I'm talking from an aesthetic standpoint. I can see how number 1 does look correct.
Can we call your mom? What did she pick? She didn't actually say what she picked.
Do you want to try to call her right now?
That would be amazing.
Okay, hold on. We've never done this before. Let's see.
Yeah, put her on speaker.
Yeah,
Let's see what Mary Lou's doing today.
We'll put my mom on speakerphone and see what happens here. Hold on. Okay.
Mary Lou, how are you?
Hello.
Hey, Mom.
You're on Lagers and Loudmouths live right now. We're
answering your question.
We're answering your question about the draft, and we wanted to just call in real quick. Me and Cam have already provided our input and answers regarding the draft and the bow tie. We wanted to call you and see what your opinion is on the photo/question that you posted.
It's either top of the neck or bottom of the neck.
Personally, I think it depends on where the neckline of the shirt hits on the giraffe.
We didn't even consider shirts.
Normally, I would vote for B, which I think is the lower of the two.
Yes, okay, that's what I picked.
See, that's one thing we didn't consider is that if the giraffe is wearing a shirt, is it a turtleneck shirt where it goes all the way up to the bottom of the chin, or is it kind of a shoulder shirt where it would fall, lower down on the giraffe's body?
Well, normally you wouldn't wear a tie with a turtleneck, but if the giraffe happens to have
you've seen Tyler
a
dress
collared shirt that goes under its chin, perhaps A, I don't know.
I know.
That's exactly why we talk to people, because we get new perspectives, and
I hadn't considered the shirts.
I hadn't either. But to be fair, the giraffe was not wearing a shirt in the photo, so we were just going.
That is correct. I will give anybody their own opinion based on that.
Final answer. We need a final answer.
From the gut, B.
From the gut B. Number 2. Okay.
All right. So you're siding with Tyler.
Well, I mean, if the giraffe's wearing a shirt, it doesn't become an argument because the bow tie goes where the collar is. So wherever the collar lands is where the bow tie is. So it's a more interesting question when the giraffe is not wearing a shirt.
Yeah. And
very true.
Yeah. All right, so we need somebody who's good with paint art to draw us a shirt on there.
And also, I don't know whether to put a disclaimer in there that was not my photo, that it was grabbed off of Facebook.
It's okay. We're not going to get sued, I don't think.
Yeah, well, if we get sued over a draft, that'd be hilarious.
We've made it.
All right, thank you for your input.
Thanks, Mom.
You.
Thank you for calling, and I appreciate you all as well.
All right, talk to you later.
Okay, bye.
All right, so we're going with, all right, I'm outnumbered here, and I do see your argument. Again, I need somebody to draw me shirts with paint art or whatever it is, so we can get a final answer to this question.
I like that. I thought that was going to be a boring question, and it turned out to be extremely interesting. So,
and that was our first. We did not plan on calling Tyler's mom, so that was just kind of out of the blue. So that worked out great.
That just worked. All right, cool.
All right, so let's switch it back to some of our reflection type questions. We did top beer. Let's go with number one topic you want to discuss in our second year of Lagers and Loudmouths.
Yeah, that's a good question. When we decided to start this podcast, I was really excited to talk about controversial topics, specifically regarding kind of conspiracy theories. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to dive a little bit more into conspiracy theories, but with
I like it. They're fun.
Yeah, it's fun, and you can kind of let your imagination wander, but I want to do it in a way where it's not like absolutely ballistic.
Bonkers, yeah. We're not going to be like that History Channel guy with that makes all the memes.
Yeah, I want to explore some conspiracy theories, but look at it from an actual factual standpoint as much as we can, and kind of be objective about it.
All right, I like that.
I just really enjoy thinking about that stuff, and I think that'd be cool to kind of try to sprinkle in a little bit more than we have been.
That means you got to do research.
That's okay.
Which you don't typically do.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time, but we for this, I'll dive into it. What about you?
So I was kind of staying with more of our kind of theme that we've kind of had going throughout this first year. So I think I want to go into, I'm an educator, as everybody knows. So I think I want to kind of go down that road and talk about why education pretty much across the board in our country is shit. And how we can take some ideas from countries who have better education outcomes than we do, and maybe improve our own.
That'd be a cool thing to explore.
Yeah,
I think.
And we got a lot of good friends who we could bring in from that as well.
That's the first thing that crossed my mind, is that we have a lot of peers that we could pull in and actually talk about that. That's cool.
That would be my series. I didn't think about any fun topic you want. Yours is kind of fun already with conspiracy.
I don't know. I want to get back to like the wacky shit for fun topics.
All right, so I was on the ride back from Kentucky this morning. We were listening to Bert and Tom.
Oh yeah, on Two Bears One Cave.
Yeah, Two Bears One Cave. Shout out to
God,
them.
if we could get them on, that'd be fucking awesome.
That would be good. I'll make some phone calls.
Yeah, right.
I'll have my people call their people.
Yeah.
You're my people.
I
by
am.
the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say I am your people.
So make some calls. But no, they were talking. This episode is their most recent episode. Was they were kind of going through death row inmates' final meals. So I think that would be a really fun one to do.
That would be real. We should.
Yeah,
do
we'll get that on there
like
somewhere. We'll have to think of a good serious topic to kind of go along with it. They also kind of contemplated if you were on death row, there's 5 ways that you could potentially be put to death in the United States. Which one would you choose?
That's a great question.
All right,
we should
so
go into that.
We'll add that for the year
Hey,
somewhere.
before we move on, do you want me to murder that wasp right there?
Well, if it was not sitting on the lights, I would say yes, but
Okay, we'll take it. There's a freaking...
He's just watching us.
Yeah, there's this wasp.
We've been
just
watching
sitting,
him,
yeah.
but we'll see what happens.
A little distracting, but we're okay.
We are professionals after all. All right, let's go back to Facebook.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, so we're going to get a little serious here. This one was sent in by my bride. I feel like she's always trying to call me out in some way, shape, or form. But Tiffany says, how do you keep the spark alive in a long-term relationship?
That's a solid question.
It is.
And I think it's a question everybody asks themselves
It is.
at some point in time. In my opinion, try new things.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Whatever that means to you guys in particularly.
Yep,
get outside your comfort zone, try something
that could be in the bedroom, that could be going on a vacation that you don't like.
Right,
That could be
just and maybe don't think as much. Like if you, and we've touched on this on the podcast before, if you really want to do something, fucking just go do it. No one's in 6 months, you're not going to remember that vacation cost you $3,000, but you're going to remember how badass it was.
Yeah, we'll have it to talk about for a while. So no, that's a good one. Yeah, try new things. I think that's kind of where my head was going. My head's always kind of in the gutter, if you will. So I was kind of thinking about it from that standpoint. So try new things in the bedroom, in the basement, wherever you like to do new things. Don't be afraid to explore it because listen, you only get one time.
Just buy that yoga chair.
Buy that yoga chair. Sometimes it's going to be weird. Sometimes you might make some funny sounds, but listen, it's going to be fun at the end of the day.
Well, I think being able to try new things is indicative of, what am I trying to say? A sense of, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here.
No, think about it. So I'll kind of add on to mine. So obviously, thinking about it from that perspective, but also communication, I think, is key. Something I struggled with very early on as a young guy. I got married at 20. You guys know I've been married for 16, going on 17 years now. But I think communication, I just didn't grow up in an environment where communication was like a thing. So I had to really learn how to do that. And I think that definitely helps the relationship.
Yeah, I think where I was trying to go is that I think if you're both willing to try new things, it kind of displays a sense of kind of like a carefree kind of mentality.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
You're open, you're wanting to explore, and I think that keeps things interesting. And I think that's really what the key is. You have to keep,
because if it gets boring.
Right. And it's so easy, in your day-to-day life to just get into the routine and, just go through life how you've always done it.
Yeah.
And, that's inevitable, but I think the key is to make a conscious effort to try to be, more interesting, more spontaneous, more sporadic with some stuff and just, explore.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to send your significant other. Listen, Tiff and I,
unsolicited dick pics?
No.
Oh.
I can honestly say I have never taken a picture of my dick. My camera zoom doesn't work that well.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
That was a great little little joke there.
But no, so try new things both in the bedroom and just in your life. I mean, stop at random Tuesday and buy your significant other flowers, or if they don't like flowers, buy them a 6-pack of beer, or whatever the hell it is.
I got a story about that.
All right, what do you got?
So I've never bought Kate flowers, and Kate is not the.
She's not a flower.
No,
type.
she's not a flower type. One day one Valentine's Day, I think I bought like a chocolate stout and like either a rose infused or hibiscus infused
Nice.
beer.
That's
So it's
very
like
Tyler.
that was my version of flowers and chocolate.
But that's perfect because that's from you. You love
Right.
beer. She loves beer. Then so for your guys' relationship, that's perfect.
it works. Yeah, exactly.
No, I like that. So try new things. Go get some butt plugs, Tyler.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
All right. So that was a Facebook. Thanks, Tiff, for that one. All right, let's go. Actually, we got a lot more Facebook, so I'm going to do one more Facebook.
Yeah, there's some good questions on the Facebook page.
There
I
are.
think we should roll with that.
Yeah,
for
we're
a
gonna
little bit.
let's answer them. All right, so this one was sent in by Haley Ellis Fugit. For Daniel Fugit, he was a very happy man last night.
Oh, yeah.
Because Tennessee got the big win over Alabama. So he says, what Haley says from Daniel, who's legit, Tennessee or Texas?
Now, I interpreted this question a little bit different. What do you think that question means?
I think that question means who's a legit contender for the national title is how I read it.
See, the way I read it is she just said UT, who's legit. So I read that question as which school is the legit UT? Because they both. Oh. That was my interpretation. I don't know if that's
legit UT. All right, well, let's answer both then. All right, I'm gonna go with what I was thinking about first, and we'll go because I want to look at the history of let's look at Google like.
I already googled it.
Oh, so you do? Okay, so you go with that one then.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, University of Tennessee is the legit UT because the University of Tennessee was founded 51 years before Texas was even a state.
All right, that's fair, and I mean I'm all about who was first, so I can't.
You ain't
argue
first,
with
you're
that.
last.
And in terms of football, they are brand new to our conference, the SEC, and I think they got introduced to true SEC football last night.
Yep, they got introduced to the SEC last night for sure.
But, all right, so to answer this question from a football standpoint, I honestly would put both of them on a pretty even playing field right now. They both got one loss. They've Texas's loss was obviously to Georgia, back-to-back national champions.
Georgia's a powerhouse team every year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no shame in that. But
No. Tennessee's loss wasn't quite as good of a loss.
no, I wouldn't say even close.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, all right, so I put up some stats. I was just kind of looking at top scoring offenses and top scoring defenses is kind of my answer to this question. Tennessee comes in at number 14 for scoring offense. Texas comes in at number 17, so very close.
I was going to say from what I've seen this year between the two teams, I think Texas has a better team overall.
And just to kind of flip the script, Texas comes in at number 1 defense. Tennessee's number 4, so they're very close.
They're close. Just from what I've seen, like on the TV, I think Texas is.
If they were to play
better.
tomorrow, who's going to win?
Texas.
I think so too.
I mean, we have what is it now? 6-1, 5-1 record.
5-1. They're both 6-1. Both 6-1.
Yeah. So we have both have a 6-1 record, but looking at the loss to Arkansas, it was Arkansas, right?
Yeah, Arkansas.
Yeah, the loss to Arkansas, the way they played Florida.
Should have lost that game.
Honestly, the Volunteers, I think, have a history of beating themselves, and we almost did that a couple times this season.
Their offense is just not good this year. It hasn't clicked. Maybe it will.
It's better to be lucky than good, but I don't think Tennessee's record reflects how they're playing. I think we've gotten very lucky this season.
They could easily have 2 more losses.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
They probably should have lost to Florida the way they were playing in the
Florida
first
was
half.
on the goal line a couple times, yeah. But all right, so that's fair. But I did want to give a shout out to completely unrelated to either of these two teams, and probably overlooked by most people in the country. Maybe not now, but fucking Indiana.
Haven't really followed
Indiana is undefeated. They have the number 1 offense in the country and the number 7 defense in the country.
Who have they played?
Obviously, a weaker conference. They don't play in the SEC. There's no arguing the SEC is by. We can have that debate. Anybody wants to come from the Big Ten and have that debate, we will have that debate. Alex, looking at you Ohio State man.
The SEC is the top dog of
Always.
Conferences in collegiate football.
So yeah, that's a fair argument. But listen, I think we need to give a shout out to Indiana. And the other reason I'm saying this is because maybe Kentucky will get their coach next year because Kentucky is shit to bed.
Yeah, that's kind of Kentucky's thing over the past couple of years.
No,
but
we've actually been decent. I mean,
I think
we're barely going to scrape out a bowl game this year.
I think Kentucky's at a pivot point right now where they're going to be a little bit more of a threat than they have been in the past in the next few years.
I hope so. Stoops needs to do something. All right, let's do one more Facebook. And
let's go.
Serious. Let's see. This is from Michelle Miller.
Oh boy.
Do you put both socks on, then shoes, or one sock, one shoe, then the other sock, other shoe?
That's a crazy question.
You're only a serial killer if you do it the second way.
Yes, you put both socks on, and then you put both shoes on.
Yeah, I've never put one sock and one shoe on.
No, that's
and
crazy.
Then one sock, one shoe.
That is crazy. Although I would be interested to talk to Joni and Michelle about this question because it seems like that might have
been come up somewhere.
Yeah, so I want to get their take on that. But no, I don't put one sock on and then a shoe and then have a bare foot.
Bare ass foot.
I don't do that. No.
But wait, what if you need to run from serial killer? I'd rather have one shoe than no shoes. Maybe you should.
If I'm running from
maybe you should put it one sock, one shoe.
If I'm running from a serial killer, I'm not worried about what's on my feet. I'm going.
That's a good point.
I don't care.
What if it's a serial killer and you're in a glass factory with glass all over the floor?
It's
gonna hurt either way.
Cutting your feet's better than being dead.
But you could only cut 1 foot if you put that one sock on first and that one shoe on.
I don't know. Time is of the essence. You got to shave every second you can.
All right. I am in 100% agreement with you. I have never put on one sock, one shoe, one sock, one shoe.
No.
I do 2 socks, 2 shoes.
Right.
That's the only correct way.
Yep.
If you do it the other way, you are a serial killer.
Yeah, I agree.
There's people buried in your backyard. Sorry, Michelle. We're not calling you out, but I want to hear the answer to this.
I want to. We kind of gave our opinion and shit on it before we even talked to her about it. So I'm curious to see what her answer is.
Yes.
We'll have to ask her.
All right, let's go back to our other questions. Let's go top guest. Who do you think has been our top guest of our first year of Lagers and Loudmouths?
This was a pretty easy one for me, and I want to preface this by saying I very much enjoyed.
This was a hard one for me because I've liked all of our guests.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to preface it with.
Yeah.
I have thoroughly enjoyed every conversation we've had with every guest, and I love them all. They're all in our inner circle, and they're our really good friends. So shout out to everybody who's donated their time to this podcast. For me, my top guest is Bill West.
Yeah, I went with Bill. I thought about Bill as well, just because we've had so much fun on all his. He's been on 3 episodes now, and we've had fun on all of them.
And he's got such a charismatic personality. He's got these subtle jokes that actually go like a layer deeper than you kind of would think on the surface level, and it's really easy to just kind of feed off that energy. I've said this before. I like characters. I like charismatic people, and I think Bill checks those boxes. And he's just a riot every time that we just even if we're not on the podcast, we're talking. He's just a fun, good loving dude, and I thoroughly enjoy spending time with him because he's hilarious.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I considered that one too because he's definitely our most frequent guest. He's been on here 3 times now, I guess.
Yep.
Well, who else? Tiff's been on twice. I guess that would be it. Everybody else
Cowboy
is just
Dan.
once.
No, Cowboy Dan's been on twice.
That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Listen, guys, if you want to be on the podcast, please. We're not begging, but we're begging for guests. We it's just more fun when we can have other people to have conversations with. We have a good rapport and we talk well, but it is more fun when we have other people on here shooting the shit. So reach out to us. I don't care what your topic is. We can talk about growing grass for all I care.
And again, the essence of the podcast, it's easy for me and you to kind of talk in kind of an echo chamber. But if we get somebody who's got a differing opinion or a different perspective,
teach me something.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
all right, my top guest was Ms. Leslie Beach.
Classic.
And the reason I picked that, like I said, Bill's episodes were fun. I could not pick my wife because that would be favoritism, and I do not do favoritism here in this basement unless it's a Saturday night. Sorry. But yeah, Leslie, so I think I got the most out of hers, which is why I picked hers. Hers was Nature versus Nurture, in which she talked about, she's got 2 adult kids, and obviously I have a 6-year-old, so we're kind of different ends of the spectrum in terms of raising children. So I got a lot out of her episode.
It was a very, very good example of a subject matter expert, quote unquote, coming onto the show.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple that were very, very good. I think Leslie is definitely in that, top list.
Oh, for sure. I mean, her kids are both, they're great people. we're not talking about success or not success, but they're great people. And I think that's what you want as a parent.
Yes.
And one thing that really stuck with me, and I think it stuck with Tiff too, that she said on the episode is, I'm paraphrasing here, something along the lines of whatever your kid's thing is, just kind of drive it. Let them drive it, and you just kind of embrace it and just kind of be that thing. Which for me as a parent, it was a good message to hear because obviously I grew up, I'm the sports guy, I'm the fitness guy, that's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So as I had a son, and that's what I expected him to do, he could care less about sports.
Yeah.
So it was good for me. I mean, he enjoys playing every now and then, but he's more into art and crafts and things like that, and maybe that'll change when he gets older.
But that was an example of something that you've already seen, but then like Leslie kind of said what she said,
and it reinforced
it. Kind of reinforced it and reassured it. And you probably took a little bit more than that than I did, but
yeah, of course.
But it probably connected with you really well, which is probably part of the reason why you're picking her as your top
it was
guest.
Like I said, it was there was a lot. I just got a lot out of that episode, and that was also the Betty's Blackberry Cobbler.
Yes, it was.
We made lots of jokes about Betty. And that was also a Would You Rather episode, which I do enjoy those Would You Rather questions.
I love that wacky random shit. It makes it fun and sporadic, and it just I think it lends to a very good episode.
It does. All right. Favorite guests, Bill and Leslie.
Yep.
That's fun. But like, again, all of our guests have been great. I have genuinely there's not one that I have not enjoyed.
Honorable mention, Matt Wilkerson.
Matt was good.
I
really liked Alex's because he was
Alex
talking
was
about
solid.
being a dad.
You talk about Matt, you want to talk about subject matter expert. Yeah. That's the fucking guy.
Yeah, if you want to talk about immunology, and we're going to have him on soon to talk about global warming, that type of thing. He's also teaches that stuff, so he can give us some stuff. So yeah, I mean, like I said, we haven't had a bad one. I want to get Kate on here soon.
Yeah, I think I can make that happen.
Yeah, you're sleeping with her, I hope. All right, let's go back to Facebook. This one was sent in by one Austin Winstead. He said, you get one beverage to drink for the rest of your life. That's it. Can't be water. We're going to assume we get to keep water, otherwise we die pretty quick.
Yeah, sure.
He needs specifics, exact name of beer, brand of soda, kind of milk, anything. What would it be? One thing to drink.
I think I am going to go, and you wanted to be specific, so I'm going to try to make it as specific as I can.
Mm-hmm.
I would go the generic espresso roast whole bean coffee beans from Walmart with a touch of whole milk.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't even thought about coffee.
I'm going coffee because, I think the inclination is like, oh, I want beer, whiskey.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't want to, I enjoy all those things. I don't want to drink that every single day.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're drinking water.
Yes.
If you don't drink that, but you could drink coffee every day. Yeah, if you're choosing Jack Daniels, that means you wake up and take a shot of Jack to get you going.
I don't want to do that.
Jack or water are your two options at that point. That's a good way to think of it. All right, we're going to come back to this, and I like to offshoots. So yeah, that's a good one. I think coffee's hard to beat, especially as Americans. We love coffee. I'm going to go I'm a Southerner, but I'm not a Southerner in terms of I like my sweet tea to make my cheeks pucker from sugar. I feel like too many sweet teas out there are way too sweet. I like just a touch of sweet in my tea. So a cold iced tea, maybe like what you would order at McDonald's, is like a quarter sweet.
Yeah. So sweet tea, I'm from the north, so I prefer unsweet tea, but sometimes I do like to take sweet tea and unsweet tea and mix it half and half.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I don't like the overly sweet tea, but if you have a moderate amount of sweetness, that's okay.
I do love a good hot tea too. I drink a hot tea every day.
There's some good hot teas out there.
I drink it every day between my lectures. It's kind of my second class of the day.
What kind of tea do you drink?
I usually just do black. I like just a plain black tea.
Yep. Super healthy.
Yeah. I like green tea too. Again, potentially healthy. All right. So offshoot of this, we're just going to thanks Austin for the question, but offshoot, if you could only choose one beer to drink for the rest of your life and be specific according to Austin's rules.
Yep. Damn, that's
a tough one.
That's really hard. I'm assuming I can't do any, mental gymnastics and say like, oh, I brew my own beer, so I have this base, but I flavor it. Okay, so.
Nope. You got to pick one commercial, or you can pick one of your own. But
sure, but
I got mine if you're not ready.
No, this is gonna go basic, but if I'm gonna drink it the rest of my life, Montucky cold snack.
Montucky? That's a good beer. Yeah. It's basic. It's a good lager. Comes in at about 4%.
It's not going to change your life, but if I'm drinking it the rest of my life, it goes with everything you're going to eat or drink.
Goes with a football game. Goes with a cold winter night. You're right. It goes with anything.
Yeah, you're not going to. You can't pick a imperial stout. Like you're going to drink that at 110 degrees at a football game.
No. All right.
You got to go basic. I think
that's fair. That's fair. I like that answer. If I were to go lager, I'd probably go garage beer over Montucky. But I'm not going lager. I'm going Sam Adams Oktoberfest.
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
I love Marzens. And I think theirs is just a good... Honestly, I think it's one of the best Marzens out there.
And honestly, Marzens are fairly versatile.
That's the thing, is you can drink it all seasons.
I know there's seasonal beers, but it's like you can drink a good Marzen when it's hot as shit outside.
Agreed. I wouldn't feel bad about drinking it. They usually come in at about 5.5%.
And it's a little more interesting. It's got the maltiness. It's got a little more flavor, a little more color.
Yep.
So it makes sense.
I could drink it around a campfire. I could drink it sitting at the pool and be just as happy.
Yeah.
So that would be my choice.
I think a close second for me would be like maybe a session IPA, something lower.
Something low, like a Founders All Day IPA, something
like that if you want it. But I feel like you get burned out on the hops at some point. Like, you know.
That's the problem. Hops run their course eventually. It's like sour beers. You can only have a few of them before your cheeks start puckering.
Good question, though. Thank you, Austin. Yeah. I know Austin is an avid listener of the podcast, so we appreciate his support.
Yes. All right. Let's see. I want to go... No, we're going to save that one. We got top 3 favorite episodes, but I want to save that one.
Okay.
Let's go back to Facebook. Alex Davis sent in a good question. And I genuinely don't have an answer to this one yet, so I'm hoping something will pop in my brain in a second. But if you could have a drink with anyone in history, who would it be and why?
I read this question and I could not think of somebody.
I got one answer off the top of my head, and it's going to probably be a bit weird.
What's the top of the head answer?
Hitler. I want to fucking question that guy.
That's not a crazy answer. I've thought the same thing.
No, obviously we want to think about the fun people that we could think we could have a good time with, like Bert Kreischer's, the Teddy Roosevelt for me would be a good one. But I think I want to sit down with Hitler. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, from a historical standpoint, it'd be very, very interesting. And I've heard, you're not the first person to say that to me, like the question of who would you want to have dinner with or whatever. I've had a lot of people say like Hitler would be an interesting person.
I just want to know why. I want to pick his brain and then shoot him in the head at the end.
Yeah, sure. But no, it kind of, that thought process is essentially exactly what we're doing here. It's like, I don't care what your opinion is. I want to fucking understand what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got one.
All right, what do you got?
Teddy motherfucking Roosevelt.
God damn it. See, that would be, I had a hard time not picking him, but Tiff and I were talking about this on the drive home, and she's like, "You're going to pick Teddy, aren't you?" I was like, "I'm not telling you." I would like to have Teddy.
I don't know the guy.
He's just a badass.
Yeah, I don't know the guy, but that motherfucker seems like he could drink.
And you get shot while giving a fucking speech, and you continue giving the speech. You're just a badass.
He's the original American badass. Yeah.
And I mean, he was a hunter, but also a conservationist. He is the reason we have national parks. So no, I think he would have a hell of a lot of stories to tell.
Oh yeah, it'd be so cool to pick his brain.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that answer. That would definitely be a close second for me. Hitler's not. It's not going to be a fun conversation.
The thing is, I feel like there could be. The more you think about it, the more you're going to remember people and be like, "Oh, that would be cool." That would be cool.
This and this. Yeah. All right, if you could pick a fun. So Teddy would be kind of fun. If I could pick a fun person, who would it be? You said Bert Kreischer the other day with dinner and our little intro.
Bert Kreischer would be a fun dude to drink with.
I was listening to that man. He's on the spectrum. We were listening to him on the way home, and he just goes like bird, squirrel, just all the time.
Oh yeah, he's all over the place.
He would be hilarious. Yeah, that would be a fun one. Any comedian, I think Kevin Hart would be fun. Chris Rock would be fun.
Anybody who
Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, anybody who brings a really good energy. You know, you don't want a wet blanket, you know.
No.
And I'm a little extreme in regards to like, you know, the how I project myself. And I think when I get with somebody else who is similar to that, it lends to a really good time and just a lot of good conversation.
I usually need a beer to loosen up, but that's fine. I can do that on the way to drive to meet Teddy. Yeah, I think that's a good one. Comedians would always be a good choice. We were watching the Chappelle show on Netflix a couple nights ago, the Dreamer one. Great episode.
Yeah.
Great. So that'd be a fun one. Well, all right. Who would be a wet blanket? Who would be the absolute worst person to sit down and have a drink with?
I think, I don't know anyone specifically, but like, Anybody from Hollywood.
I think most of them you're probably right.
They're just, it's too fake. I need authenticity. I don't need bullshit.
Is there anybody in Hollywood you think would be authentic?
Ooh.
I think Chris Hemsworth could be fun. I've watched a few of his things outside of his acting, and I think it could be fun. And we share a love for fitness. So.
Shit, who's that guy? He was on Parks and Recreation. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy, main character.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. He seems like a pretty authentic dude.
He does. I can see Chris Pratt. I think Arnold Schwarzenegger would be good.
Oh,
I watched his.
I just thought of one. Nick Offerman.
Oh, Nick would be a great.
Nick would be cool.
Nick would be great. He would be a fun one though. He wouldn't be a wet blanket.
No.
Nick would be a great.
No,
one
Nick would be a good pick for sure.
Yeah, I've read all his books, and every one of his books. I like to read it. I don't actually like to read his books. I like to do his audibles because he narrates them.
Oh, that's you got. If you're writing your own book, you got to narrate it yourself.
And he narrates them. And you can just tell like he is who he is. Like the person that he portrays on like Parks and Rec and a lot of those shows. That is who he is as a person.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one. All right, let's jump over to our other questions. We did top guest. We did top beer. We did our number one topics. All right, so let's go on to number one guest we would like to have on in the next year.
I just talked about this the other day, actually.
Did you?
I want Miss Steph Cabell on the podcast.
Oh, Steph would be a great one.
Steph is such a charismatic person. She's witty. She's fun.
What do you think we'd talk about with Steph? Obviously, we know her as music lady, but I think she's obviously much, much more than that.
Yeah, I agree too. And honestly, I haven't talked to Steph in any kind of deep level at all.
Same, but I see her Facebook posts, and she's a pretty deep person. When she's pretty introspective, and I think when you see that makes you want to have a conversation with her.
Yeah, and I think she could bring a lot of value to an episode.
Yeah. All right, I like Steph.
Fun fact: I talked to her about it on Friday.
Oh, nice. That's right. You guys had the show on Friday, so is she down for it?
Yeah, she was a little. I don't want to say she was apprehensive, but she was. I asked, I'm like, hey, would you want to be on the podcast?
Listen, everybody can be nervous around us.
Here was her follow-up.
We exude lots of. I don't know.
This was her follow-up question. She's like, do I have to talk about beer? And I'm like, it's 1% about beer, 99% about everything else.
Yeah, we call it Lagers and Loudmouths, but the beer takes up about 2 minutes of our episode. So Steph, you don't have to talk about beer. If you want to, you can.
Oh, sure.
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
No,
we can talk about life.
Steph Cabell, we're going to make it happen.
All right, 2025, it's happening. Top person I want to have on the episode. I've been struggling with this one all day. I've been thinking about it the whole drive back from Kentucky this morning. All right, I got a couple. I know I'm breaking rules, but this is my podcast. I'll do the fuck I want.
This is Business Development Live.
I want to have our good friend Haley on here.
Yes.
I think we could have a lot of fun with Haley.
We're going to have to fucking drag her in here.
It's going to be hard, but we'll get you on, Haley.
We'll get on.
It's going to happen this year, 2025, Haley. Make a promise. Listen, I did give you a ticket to go watch JT next month with Tiff, so...
You're not going to see JT anymore?
No, Tiff and Haley are going.
Honestly, they're going to have more fun without you.
That's what I thought. So you owe me, technically. You owe me, Haley. So we're going to make it happen. And I think we had Alex on. I think Lindsay would be a fun one to have on.
Lindsay would be solid,
Lindsay's, she's got a lot of background in like theater stuff, which is not something I'm familiar with, but something I'm interested in.
Yeah.
So I think it could be fun to kind of maybe pick her brain on that type of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be solid.
Just out of our friends group, do you have any, high hopes, shooting for the stars? You can call up anybody, not Robert Downey Jr.
Sure. So like just unattainable, but I want
maybe
you on
attainable.
The podcast.
Listen.
Maybe.
You got to shoot your shot.
Ooh. I don't know. I kind of go back to the drinking question. Nick Offerman would be solid.
Nick would be good.
Tom Segura would be awesome. Who else?
Bert would be terribly drink all my beer.
It would be, dude, honestly,
It'd be a good conversation.
If he called us up, it's like, I want to be on the podcast. I'd be like, okay.
Where am I flying to?
Yeah,
we'll meet you.
We'll pay for the ticket. I don't care. Like, we're not gonna discriminate if the opportunity presents itself.
Yeah.
I love this actor. I think his name's Ken Jeong.
Yeah.
From,
Okay.
The
yeah,
Hangover.
we talked about him as
Yes.
very early on.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
was who you picked as president? VP?
President.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he would be super entertaining, and he's a medical doctor.
He's an actual MD. Yeah.
He's actually a subject matter expert in a couple things.
Yeah.
Beyond just acting in Hollywood and all that stuff. So
No, he'd be a good one.
Yeah,
That'd
for
be
sure.
a good one. All right, if I'm shooting for the stars, who am I going with? Sorry, I'm just being an asshole in my brain right now. Sleepy Joe. That would be a terrible conversation. Listen, no political affiliation, but
okay.
no, we're not picking Donald. Fuck that.
No, okay? So if Donald Trump called us and he was like, "I want to be on the podcast. You guys are phenomenal."
I'm bored.
You're gonna say no.
No, I'm gonna say
You're
yes.
gonna fucking say yes
because he would talk us up, and we would have 4 million new followers by the morning.
Yeah.
So that's just business.
It would be an
101.
interesting. I think it would be an interesting. I'll have a conversation with anybody. So
No, agreed.
and he's like the king of charismatic.
The king of narcissism
Sure.
as well, which him and I might clash on
Yeah,
that,
I mean
but,
that's two peas in a pod
yeah,
over on that side of the bar.
So that could be fun.
Fun fact: Donald Trump does not drink, so we'd have to get him like a non-alcoholic beer or something like
I
that.
can handle
but
that.
Yeah, we can
That's
do
no
that.
problem.
Yeah.
we know people. So that politicians would be fun. Just because
Or infuriating.
or infuriating, one way or the other. It'd be hard to be mad at them while they're sitting here, but after the fact, you talk shit about them in the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, politicians. Again, I'm kind of going back to a politician here, but Pete Buttigieg.
Not familiar.
So he is the openly gay. Is he senator now? Where is Pete at? I forget. I should know this. I would argue that he has a legit shot at running for president within the next 8 to 10 years.
All right.
He's openly gay. Where is he? He is from. Currently he's the transportation secretary for the Biden administration. He was in the military, served in the military for quite a few years. He was the 32nd mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
All right. Good old South Bend. I know where that's at.
I just think because of his life experience, and he's young. He's only 42, so he's not terribly older than us.
That's a positive for me.
And
I think we need more young people in politics.
Yeah, last year he ran in half Ironman, which you guys, obviously I'm into. So yeah, I think he'd be a fun one.
Yeah, for sure. That's a good pick. I like that.
And then again, Arnold. I think Arnold.
Oh yeah, Arnold
Just having
Schwarzenegger.
Arnold on
Fuck
there.
yeah.
He's been everything.
Oh yeah.
Have you watched his Netflix series?
No.
It's short. It's 3 episodes, but the episodes are done in a way.
You talked about this, yeah.
Yeah. So the first episode is kind of like his lifting career where he was Arnold. And then his second episode was his acting career. And then the third episode takes you through his political career. So great Netflix. I highly recommend it.
Dude, I'd love to drink some bourbon and smoke a cigar with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And that's all he does is smoke cigars.
That'd be badass.
Yeah. All right, I like that.
Which, I believe his daughter is married to Chris Pratt.
Yeah, that's what made me think of it when
Full
you brought
circle,
it up earlier.
We can get the whole family on here.
All right. See, it's like we plan this shit, guys. I
Holy
promise
crap.
we don't. We just show up. All right. Amy Lewis sent this one in on Facebook. You only get to watch one TV show for the rest of your life. What show and why?
Oh, man, that is a hard question.
That's it. That's all you can watch. Oh, we're going to... All right, can we make the assumption that new seasons come out?
Yes.
Okay.
Sure.
But obviously, they have to end eventually. Maybe, right?
Yeah. What, the rest of your life?
No series runs for 50 years.
No. The Simpsons.
Simpsons, that's a good point. Maybe that's your pick. That's a solid pick.
I honestly, now that I said that, I think I would have to go something along the lines of Simpsons, South Park, like a cartoon designed
but
for
a serious
adults.
cartoon. Yeah, an adult.
Because I think I would get incredibly frustrated and bored with like a cast. And I know you could cycle them out.
No,
and all
I get
that
what
stuff.
you're saying.
I don't know specifically what show I would pick, but it would definitely be along the lines of like low engagement, like just turn your brain off and watch something for the sake of entertainment, not having to think about it, which is kind of how I consume media anyway.
No, mine's not entirely different. So I'm going to go, there's a show that Tiff and I like to watch on Netflix called Somebody Feed Phil.
Oh yeah, you talked about
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's basically it's a travel show where he basically just goes around the world eating. The world is a giant place, so I think I could, as long as the episodes continued, I could be entertained by that. That's my, if I don't have something to watch, I turn on type of show.
Yeah.
So I think that would be my pick.
I think Hell's Kitchen would be a good pick too.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay, love to have a drink with him. Love to have him on the podcast.
Did you see his Hot Ones episode?
I think he might have been on a couple times. I don't know. I think I have at least seen clips of
I
it.
think it was, and I think they actually quoted this. Don't quote me on this, but I think the episode said that it was the most times that fuck was said.
That tracks.
I mean, it was,
as it should be.
I watched it and it was pretty hilarious. He's not one of the ones who could stone face it like some of the other guys.
And the thing is, Gordon Ramsay, I think, plays a little bit of a persona on TV. I don't think he's as big of an asshole as he portrays himself to be.
I've watched his at-home cooking show where he's got his kids.
It's phenomenal.
He's a great dad.
Oh yeah,
he's a great dad. He's not yelling.
He's got like 7 kids.
I think 4, but yeah.
Really?
I think it's 4. I could be wrong.
No, I think it's more than that. Let's see.
You might be right.
How many kids
does Gordon have? Gordon likes to get frisky.
Gordon? Oh, okay. He's got 5 kids.
Was it 5? Okay.
Yeah. So Gordon lays pipe. All right.
Well, in more than one way. In the kitchen and in the bedroom. Good job, Gordon. We'll see you on the episode next week, right, buddy?
Yeah, all right.
All right, good question. Amy, thanks for submitting that one to us. You guys share with us in the comments of this week's release, one episode or one TV show for the rest of your life. What's it going to be? All right, let's stick with Facebook because we got more here than we did our questions.
We probably have more questions than when we started this podcast at this point.
Probably.
There's a lot of comments on it.
There were. Egg before the chicken or chicken before the egg?
Yeah.
This was Joni.
Yep. I think the egg came before the chicken, and I think you can explain that through maybe evolution or genetic mutations.
That's fair.
That's what I'm going with.
No, and I'm 100% with you. You can't have a chicken that hatched out of nothing.
Yes.
You have to have the egg first.
I think the egg came before the chicken, and
the egg was a product of some other evolutionary thing happening.
Yes,
which then hatched and turned into a chicken. And we know
we know as a chicken.
Yeah, what we know as a chicken. We know that chickens are moderately related to dinosaurs.
Yes,
so it's just somewhere down that lineage somewhere. Some dinosaur eventually, and I mean it did just happen spontaneously, but over the times of evolution, spit out a chicken.
We see it here. It's like there's 2 different species that are closely enough related in genetics to have like hybrid offspring. You know, the Lagers, the
Yep.
What's the is it a mule? It's a cross between a horse and a donkey.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
One of those, yeah.
I think it was more along the lines of something like that, and then obviously the duration of time, things change as well through natural evolution. So
yeah, of course.
I think that's really where the answer to the question lies, and that's coming from zero scientific background at all. That's just me pulling it out of my ass, but that's what I believe.
That's what he does all the time on these shows, guys. It's always out of his ass. All right, sticking with Facebook, this is a quick one. Just give me your off-the-cuff response. Toilet paper roll over or under?
Over.
Over 100%, but you know what? You want to know how big of an asshole I am?
What?
When I go to people's houses, I flip it from whatever they have it.
That makes me really happy. I will say, though, okay, I prefer over. There is a practicality for under.
Now sell that. You're going to have to sell me on that one.
I think you're going to flip on me here. Practicality of under. If you have small children and they come up and smack the toilet paper roll, it's not going to unravel on the floor. Same if you have a cat or something like that. They're not going to unravel it on the floor. It's just going to flip back on itself. So there is some practicality to going under, but no, I think the correct answer is over.
And I think the patent has actually come out that should be over. Like the person who invented it is supposed to be over. But yeah, next time you go to somebody's house, just flip it.
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that.
Start some fights in the house.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And just don't tell them you do it.
I never thought about that, but thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, let's do another.
Haley's going to be real fucking upset.
I know. Daniel! Damn it, Dan! Why did you do it?
Just blame Carson.
All right, so I'm just going to shout this one out. We're not going to do it because you are an embarrassment to the movie game. But Leslie sent this one in.
I saw this one. I actually have a response to it.
Do you? All right, you haven't seen it, but all right, let's do it. Top 5 life lessons from the 1994 classic Forrest Gump.
I don't have 5. I have 1, but
I
think it's the most important.
I know what you're going to say.
Hoes gonna be hoes.
Damn it, Jenny. Jenny. That's a fair one.
What the fuck, man? He did everything right. He was a great guy, and she just fucking screwed him.
She really did. She really did. Left him with a kid. I mean, fortunately, he had all that money from that Apple company and his shrimping business. But yes, she really did leave him hanging, and probably gave him the AIDS.
I haven't even watched. I haven't watched that movie all the way through, but that's the takeaway for me.
Right. You are going to watch it, and we're going to have this conversation again.
All right.
I'm just going to give you one, and it focuses on the main quote that everybody knows from this movie. Life is like a box of chocolates. And I think that's a good life lesson, is that don't take shit seriously. Life is, you just kind of float through life. Matt and I say this all the time to each other. It's like we tend to find ourselves in weird situations. You just kind of float through life like a feather. We're just let whatever happens.
It's probably a little more peaceful that way.
Yeah. Don't get too hung up on any one thing, because at the end of the day, it does not matter.
Yeah, I think that's solid advice.
All right, thanks, Leslie. And we are going to we're going to have a movie night. Everybody at the house in the basement, we're watching Forrest Gump. Oh, and you're going to have to write a 3-page essay on your top 5 lessons.
I'm going to get blackout drunk during that movie.
That's fine. Yeah.
It'd make for a good essay.
That would make for a great essay. All right, let's, I've been saving this one because I really like this one. I've thought more about this one than I have any other question. This comes from your bride. Kate sent this one in.
Oh, yeah, I remember this one. Okay, go for it.
I've thought way too much about this one. And I've got 2 answers.
I do too.
If you could curse someone that did you dirty with a lifelong small annoyance, what would it be? All right, give me your second answer.
I got three, actually.
All right, give me your second one, or your third one first.
Mine
are just mean.
Yeah, mine aren't necessarily mean, but
no.
I think number 3, just terrible body odor that you cannot get rid of.
That would be a good one.
Because that fucks them up socially.
It does. Yeah, you can't go out. I mean, you're always smelling bad. And even if you spray some cologne, you just smell like cologne mixed with BO.
Right.
That's a good one. All right, give me your number 2, and then I'll give you my number 2.
Every time you get up, you stub your toe real fucking bad.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Don't break your toe, but it hurts like a bitch.
Stubs really bad. Okay, that's a nice one. All right, my number 2, and we've all experienced this. Don't tell me you haven't. You're a lying sack of shit if you haven't. An itchy butthole.
Oh, that's a good one. That kind of plays into my number 1.
Does it? It just like an itchy butt. Like it's just always there, kind of itching, and you're like squirming in your seat trying to get it to not itch.
That might be better than my number 1, I think. My number 1 is you're just itchy all the time. So you're
just always itchy,
you're just
your whole body
looking like a crackhead.
I feel like there is a condition like that.
There could be.
I feel like there is. Let me use the Googles real quick. Is
real
there
kick.
a condition in which you itch all the time?
That's called gonorrhea.
That's called gonorrhea. Yes, a condition where you itch all the time is called pruritus. Pruritus?
That sounds like torture, dude.
Yeah, that would be, but would it be the whole body or just itchy butthole?
In my mind, it's the whole body.
Yeah, no, but which would be worse, the whole body or just the butthole?
I think with just the butthole, you could hide it better than if it was your whole body.
True. You're
Again,
not scratching.
I'm going from the social repercussion aspect of it, where if you're just scratching yourself and you're red all the time and you're bleeding and you look like a unhinged person.
Yep.
That's pretty good revenge.
That's pretty solid. So we're all along the same lines there. My number 1, and this is just
I cannot wait.
This is so mean. All right, we're all animals, right?
Sure.
We all like to fornicate, right?
Sure.
So my number 1 is you are always horny, but you can never orgasm.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Never. Like you can work your way almost there, but you never can all the way.
That's a good one, but that's less
Obviously,
social.
Yeah.
That's more like internal, like you're fucking with your own head kind of thing.
You just can't quite get there ever.
That's pretty good. I like
That'd be
that
a hard one.
That's a good one.
Yeah. All right. I like that question, Kate. I had been saving that one. All right. Let's go back to our reflections on the year so far.
Okay.
Let's see let's go top 3 favorite episodes. Starting with number 3. Work your way down the list.
Yeah, so I'm going to go the effects of AI in society, and then our fun topic was conspiracy theories. Kind of alluded to that earlier in the episode, but I really did enjoy that conversation.
That was one of our early ones too.
That was episode 5.
Was it episode 5?
Episode 5.
That might have been when I had that, whatchamacallit, that Oktoberfest, because it was kind of around the same
Oh, yeah,
time.
it could have been.
Yeah. All right, so my number 3. So I wanted to pick one where it wasn't a guest. I could have easily made this top 3 all of our guests, because I think those are by far our best episodes. But I wanted to make number 3 just you and I. So my number 3 was episode 17, in which we discussed work-life balance and our favorite TV series.
Yeah, the work-life balance conversation, that was in my running as well. That was a really good conversation. I enjoyed that one a lot.
I mean, I could easily pick all guests and be fine, but I wanted to pick one that was just us, and I think that was probably one of our better just one-on-one conversations. Outside of today, I'm not going to lie, we're killing it right now. So yeah, that's number 3 for me. All right, number 2?
My number 2 is the first time that Cowboy Dan appeared on the show, and we talked about GMOs and rodeo dreams.
Yeah, that's a good one. I still kind of want to do the rodeo.
Dan's a character. He's passionate about what he talked about, and it was fun. It was entertaining. It was educational all at the same time. I thought it was just a solid all-around episode.
It was. No, that was a good one. That was in my running for guests as well. But I went with my number 2 just because it was so harebrained and just kind of out of this world, our Hot Wings episode.
Okay, yeah.
It was basically a Would You Rather episode in which our wives submitted questions to us and Bill was hosting us, but just the idea that we were doing it while eating hot wings. And full disclosure, that was supposed to be our first video. And we got half the video from my phone. Tyler's phone died on us. And I watched pretty much the whole thing. It's hilarious to watch.
So I'm glad you brought that up. That is a goal I want to do in 2025. I want to introduce video onto the podcast.
No, I like that.
Every episode you can watch me and Cam and our guest, if we have one, talk about our topics.
Yeah. So check out Lagers and Loudmouths YouTube, I would assume.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel. I need to go update it. But yes, we do have a YouTube channel. All of our episodes are on there right now. Well, most of our episodes are on there right now. It's just audio, but we did launch that YouTube channel for the specific reason of incorporating video into the podcast.
And that was it was hilarious to watch us eat those hot wings. That da bomb.
Oh, it was fucking rough, but it was fun.
Yeah. And full disclosure, we have gone back to da bomb many times since then. We've got some sort of sick masochism.
It's a masochistic kind of
it's
thing,
kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
It is kind of fun. All right, number 1 for you.
Number 1 for me, kind of going on your theme, the first time Bill West was on the episode with the success and failure topic and then the just random would you rather questions. I thought Bill West is a pro musician. He's a former podcaster. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to drive a conversation. And I thought it was the most fun episode I've been a part of so far, just because I thoroughly enjoyed it all the way through.
Yeah, and I think I said I may have broken Gordon Ramsay's record for saying "fuck" in that episode.
Yeah, that was a heavy episode.
Don't listen to it, Mom. Yes, that's a good one. And my number 1, it kind of goes back to my guest earlier. My favorite guest, top guest, was Leslie.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite episode, just because I think I got the most out of it. That's kind of how I'm playing it. I got the most out of it.
Yeah, and sometimes we're goofy, sometimes we're serious, but I think when we are able to actually take something from the episode and apply it to our real life, even if it's not, the most sexy conversation, that has more value to you, and I think that's very important.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I could have easily picked all of these. We had so many good people on here.
I mean, honorable mention, Matt Wilkerson with his episode.
Both the Tiffs have been great. Alex's was great.
Yeah.
Psychedelics was fun to talk about.
Yep.
Like I said, if people ask me which ones to listen to, just skip number 1 because we were working out the kinks and then go from there. Everything after that, I feel like was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Now, I do think they've gotten better from like 10 to 20 after 10, but
that's a natural progression. Yeah. It makes sense.
Yep. All right, good. So yeah, top 3 episodes. I like that. All right, let's go back to Facebook here. Let's see. We got. I'm looking at a draft now. All right, we're going back to my bride, Tiff. She sent in several.
Yeah.
This one was, how do you think you've changed in the last 5 years?
Oh, that's a good question.
I feel like she does this to me because she knows that she won't. If she asked me, like, sitting on the back porch, how do you think you've changed? I wouldn't talk about it, but now she knows she's got me in a quandary and I have to answer it.
I think personally, in the past 5 years, I've kind of finally come to the realization that the world's pretty fucked up, and I try not to let things bother me
That's good.
much as I used to.
Yeah, you're a pretty anxious person, so that's a good one for you if you can just continue down that path, which is going to bring me to my hot take later, of just kind of letting shit go.
It's
you can only control what you can control.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go to. If I can't control it, I'm not going to let it consume a lot of my time.
It shouldn't. I mean, at the end of the day, we're tiny little specks on this tiny little planet in a giant-ass universe.
It's like, what good comes from me getting pissed off about something that I can't control about?
Yep. When I die, I'm not going to be remembered for very long. So, just kind of what does it matter? No, that's a good one.
I get you.
All right. So yeah, how have I changed in the last 5 years? Obviously, 5 years ago, I had a 1-year-old, so I was learning to be a parent. I think I've become more patient, just as a person in general, by having to become a parent. I think I've become, just in a relationship standpoint, become more open to I guess communication. Kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, communicating in that aspect. Career, I'm pretty much the same place, and which is 100% where I want to be. I have no desires to kind of move up, down, sideways. I'm very happy with where I'm at. So yeah, I think overall, I think the best thing is just I've grown as a parent and as a spouse, and I think both positive ways.
Yeah, you always want to be better than you were.
Yeah, so exactly, and it's all a learning process. So yeah, I think that's what I would go.
And
with.
A lot of it's mindset too.
It is.
You have to realize. You have to accept and realize your own flaws before you can
that's the key, yeah.
Be better at that.
Yeah, that's the key. All right, Michelle Miller says, can you wear a sweatshirt without a t-shirt underneath?
Sure.
I mean,
you can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, correct. You definitely can. Do you?
No.
I don't like sweatshirts.
I typically don't wear sweatshirts either. Yeah, you can. I guess I've done it before.
Maybe if you're wearing like an itchy wool one, it would
I
make
wouldn't
sense.
love that. But I mean, if I'm wearing a sweatshirt, I have a t-shirt underneath it.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I get hot easy. I run hot.
The whole thing about a sweatshirt, in my opinion, is it's utilitarian, where you put it on, but
you can take it off
if you get hot.
That's fair.
If you don't have a shirt on underneath, you probably can't take it off.
That's a good point.
If you're in public.
So I'm thinking like a hoodie. A hoodie, yeah, that works well. But if I'm doing like a sweatshirt, I don't wear sweatshirts. I'm a t-shirt guy pretty much all year round. But if I do wear a sweatshirt, I don't generally put a shirt underneath it because I get too hot.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, good.
Wait, say that again?
I don't generally wear a shirt underneath it because I would get too hot. Basically doubling up a t-shirt plus.
But you can take the sweatshirt off then.
You could. Yeah. But then why the hell did I wear the sweatshirt in the first place? Like I said, I don't, but.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it for like this time of season where, you're going out at 8 a.m.
It's cold.
It's 40 degrees, but it's got to get to 65 later and you're outside. Like, yeah, I want to be warm in the morning, but I want to be able to take that sweatshirt off and, cool off in the afternoon.
No, that's fair. Can you? Certainly. Do I? No. Do you? Sometimes, it seems. I
never wear a sweatshirt without something underneath.
Oh, okay. So you always do. All right. All right. Let's, we've only got a couple questions left, so we're getting to the end here.
All right.
Let's see. Do I have any more reflection questions? Top guests we've talked about. Top episodes we've talked about. Answers, we're talking about those. Top beer. No, we've covered all of our kind of reflection questions. So I think we got like 2 Facebook questions left, and then we'll move on to our hot takes and finish up the episode.
Hell yeah, man.
All right, so this one comes from Daniel Fugate.
All right.
Who has been on the episode a couple times. You guys know him as Cowboy Dan, because he is an actual cowboy, not like those make-believe guys on TV.
Yep.
I buy his beef. Who is the pooper-trader? Backstory. You got to give the backstory. The people need to understand. They won't understand the question if they don't hear the backstory.
Yeah, okay. So I'll try to give the condensed version. It's a long story.
Yeah, this is Reader's Digest.
All right. 21st birthday, July 30th. We're in Shorewood, Illinois. Cousins come out from the west, got some friends together. It's a Wednesday night in the middle of summer. We go out to Morris, Illinois, which is freaking just corn cob nowhere, essentially, for a bar crawl. Do the 21st birthday thing, drunk, whatever, get back to the house. Me, a couple of my cousins, and my buddy George are sleeping in the house. Next morning comes along, we're all taking showers, eating breakfast, drinking Gatorade, hungover, the drill. And, bathroom smells like shit for a long time.
And just as an FYI, I am not in the picture at this point where you didn't know each other.
No.
This was a long time ago.
No. So people going in and out of the bathroom, smells like shit. You're like, all right, someone took a dump and just blew it up. Well, it's just not fucking going away. So we're all like, what the fuck?
Story.
So my mom goes into the bathroom and we're all kind of like peering around the corner kind of a thing. And she's looking, she fucking opens the cabinet under the sink and we had these two pull out, plastic drawers that slid out.
Yep.
And there was a container of cotton balls, like a plastic container of cotton balls. And there was, how it's been described, was a fucking sour cream dollop of shit on top.
I've heard this story many times. It's never not
on
funny.
top of these cotton ball containers. And it's like someone had to go in there, pull the drawer out,
This
turn
isn't
around.
a drawer. This isn't a toilet, guys.
Yeah. Turn around, squat, shit, put everything back, and then go back to bed. So that's essentially on my
that's the story. And what are we, 13 years later? 12?
yeah, roughly.
Nobody has admitted to who did it. Give us a rundown of potential people.
Suspects include myself, my cousin Tim, my cousin Dan, George, and my sister were also all in the house.
As were your parents.
As were my parents.
Probably not them, but
They weren't drinking, so no, and neither was my sister. So
that probably narrows it down to 4.
yeah, I would say there's 4 suspects.
And you would take a bullet to the head right now to say that you did not do it.
Yes, I would. And if I did do it, I would 100% admit it because it's a hilarious story.
No, but I don't want it to end now.
No, we genuinely do not know who did it.
So we're down to 3.
Well, technically. So here's a little bit of more backstory. I don't want to fucking drag
That's
this
all
on.
right.
So I was sleeping in my bedroom. My cousin Tim was on an air mattress in my bedroom on the floor. My cousin Dan was sleeping on the couch in the living room. And my buddy George was down in our basement, sleeping on a couch down there. And the basement has its own toilet.
So it's down to the 2 cousins.
The 2
George
cousins
wasn't
and myself.
even close. And you would take a bullet to the head saying you didn't do it.
Yes,
So
right
we
now.
got 2 cousins. It's 2
Yeah.
cousins, one of those 2.
Yeah.
I wish we could call them.
I
They wouldn't admit to it at this point.
No, they
but,
wouldn't.
All right, we need some closure. I don't know if I want closure.
have my
want closure.
suspicions.
I want closure, but I don't want closure.
I think I know who did it.
All right, do you want to put it on the air?
Yeah, I think it was Dan, my cousin Dan.
All right, Dan. Fuck you, Dan. Why are you shitting in Mary Lou's drawer?
That's my interpretation of the scenario.
All right. Dan, if you want to call in on a future episode and potentially defend yourself or finally end the poopertrator, we can do that. I am happy to be the middleman. If you want to actually show up and you and Tyler fight it out, that's fine too. I've got a basement bed.
We can do that too.
All right. So yeah, that's I love that story every time.
It's a good story. My family, well, some of my extended family are fucking over that story though.
No, I'm not.
I'm not either.
I'm not.
It's a good story.
I won't be over it until I have closure, and I don't know that I want closure.
I don't think we'll ever get closure.
Maybe on a deathbed type of deal.
Maybe.
I hope so. That'd be great to go out. I
just-
shit in the
I
cabinet.
fucking did it.
That'd be
That's
great.
all they would have to say.
All right. Next up, we got my bride again. Do you believe in fate?
Do I believe in fate?
How would one define fate?
Yeah, give me a definition before I respond. I have an inclination of what I want to say, but give me the definition.
Fate kind of refers to like a predetermined course of events or outcomes that are beyond a person's control. Such as like a predestined, like you're going to drive home today and hit another deer in your car. I hope not, but.
No, I don't believe in fate.
I think I'm with you. I don't. I think
Everybody has actions,
Free
and every
choice,
action
free
has,
will.
Yes, everything has actions, and every action has a consequence. So
yeah. No,
I think
I would
it's
agree. I don't think there's anything in my life been predetermined at this point.
No,
I think I determined it.
I will say I think there are things outside of your control that,
Well, of course,
like circumstances that don't go in your favor or something like that.
of course, you can't dictate everything.
I wouldn't say that's fate though.
No, I agree. I think that's. I think.
We've talked about this before in the podcast. I firmly believe that each individual is in control of their own destiny. It's just how they apply themselves in life to try to achieve those goals.
Yeah, and good book. that I would recommend anybody read. It's called The Choice, Embrace the Possible. The author is Dr. Edith Eva Eger. She went through Auschwitz, kind of full circle back to Hitler. How did we get there? This was not intentional. But she went through concentration camps back in that, and then she ended up becoming like a pretty well-known psychologist in the U.S. She wrote a book on that, and kind of the premise of the book is choice. We have a choice in pretty much how we react to everything. Yeah, obviously, in the worst possible situation, you're in a concentration camp, you see people die, they're making you do these things. But she kind of drives home the point that, that was not ideal circumstances. But how I reacted to them is kind of ultimately what got me through them. Could she have given up and died? Yeah, a lot of people probably did. But
I think a lot of people use the concept of fate to kind of defer
their actions,
responsibility of their actions.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't subscribe to that at all.
No, I think personal responsibility, whatever you do, good, bad, yay, nay, happy, sad, whatever it happens to be, is determined by you.
It's on you
for the most part, and how you react to things. Yes, obviously, you get in a car wreck on the way home. That's not good.
Right.
Can you get mad? And of course, you can still be upset. You're allowed to have emotions, but how you react to it is kind of a big thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I agree.
I'm with you. Fate does not exist. I think we determine our fate. All right, and this is the last one on Facebook, but we said we would get through all of them. This one was just very recently posted by, again, Tiffany.
Jeez, she's got like 9 of them on there.
If you have to, this is a fun one.
Oh,
actually.
this is a good one.
This is a good one to end on. If you have to go into battle with an army of 3 animals and yourself, which ones are you choosing and why? Your opponent will also get to pick 3 animals, but you will not know their choices until the fight begins.
Okay.
So, all right, so you and I are battling.
Okay. You want to go one at a time?
Yes, I haven't thought much about this, but let's go.
All right. Number 3, I am taking a falcon or some kind of bird of prey. Bird in the sky, reconnaissance, intel.
It can't fucking talk to you. It's a bird.
You can observe the bird.
That's fair. See what they're looking at, what they're kind of. I thought you were thinking about it from like an attack standpoint. It's like, listen, you give me a tennis racket, and I can take out a bird of prey.
I could. Okay.
I could keep myself at least from getting like pecked in the eyes,
maybe,
unless my hands are tied behind my back.
So yeah, so I didn't go straight from the attack standpoint. I'm coming from full circle. That fucking wasp, dude. He's on the move.
He is.
Fucker.
Don't worry about it. We got this.
Yeah.
We're professionals.
Just fucking land again.
All right.
So I'm taking a falcon or
so
you're
trying to
eagle.
You're trying to do like a military full on.
Yes, I'm trying.
You're not just straight out battle running at each other.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So you're going with falcon. That's a good one. I'm gonna go with my brute force first.
Okay.
I'm going wolves. Wolves.
Like a pack?
Pack of wolves.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's similar to mine. I
think a pack of wolves, they can be very vicious. Wolves, I don't think people realize how big wolves really are. Those things are giants.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think of the biggest dog you can think of, think like a Bernese. They're bigger than Bernese. They make Bernese look small, actual wolves.
So I'm going kind of along those same lines, but a little bit bigger.
All right.
I'm going a pack of a predatory cat, like lions.
All right, like a pride of
lions.
All right, Simba's going to get me. I'm
yeah.
going to die by Simba.
And those are big animals.
They are.
And they'll fuck you
Who
up.
do you think would win in a battle? Wolves? Or we got an equal number, 10 wolves, 10 lions of...
I think the wolves are at a disadvantage just due to size.
Yeah. I don't know, they're probably close in size.
I would probably argue that lions are more stealthy as well.
Yeah, that's fair.
Cats just have that instinct. Like wolves, you're kind of comparing cats to dogs, really.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're right.
I would take lions over wolves over that situation.
All right, that's fair.
But I don't know shit. But
no, I mean, listen, this is a fictitious battle we're having here. My second one is, and this is a shout out for Amos, the Titanoboa.
A snake?
Not just a snake, the largest snake to ever exist. I'm gonna have a pack of them. They don't fight in packs, but I'm having a pack of them because this is my battle.
Okay, so we're going.
These snakes can get up to, I think, like 40 feet. Obviously, they do not exist anymore. They were
gotta be pretty slow
They were a
moving.
prehistoric kind of dinosaur age.
Aquatic or land based?
Both.
Okay,
They can do both.
that's a good feature.
Yeah. So and you see a giant. I don't like tiny snakes. If I see a giant one coming at me, I'm probably gonna shit my pants. That's why they're coming after you.
Well,
they're
not just
they're
one.
fighting for me.
You got like 12.
I got a pack of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Number one, I don't have a number one. I'm trying to think. I think the numbers game is very important.
All right. I've got you on number one. You're gonna lose this battle.
Okay, I'm excited for it. I kind of want to go like, I was gonna go a herd of bison, but I think I'm going. We're gonna go a pack of elephants. I'm going straight brute force. I think the elephants combined with the pride of lions would be pretty terrifying.
That's fair.
And I'm assuming that they all know they're on the same team.
All right.
We're making some assumptions.
Yeah,
but
yeah. Of course, they can communicate. They know they're all fighting against me at this point in time.
Sure.
All right. So the question was, if you have to go into battle with an army of 3 animals and yourself, which would you choose? Perhaps
you're going to go human? Are you going to go pack of humans?
I'm going Green Berets. I'm going a pack of Green Berets. We are animals. I don't care what anybody says. We are animals.
That's a technicality, but I will.
Based on the question.
I'll give it to you based on the question.
The question did not say I couldn't have other humans. It just said animals.
I'm a little pissed off. I didn't think about that technicality myself.
I'm going Green Berets.
No, I mean, I do the same thing.
Yeah, because they're just going to shoot all your guys or your things before they get to me.
Yeah.
And then my Titanoboas are just going to sit there eating, I guess, whatever they do.
Cleanup crew.
Yeah, my wolves are going to, do the same thing.
Yeah, that's a stout lineup. I like it.
All right. Sorry, I cheated, but I'll take it.
No, that's a good one. I like it. Thinking outside the box.
All right. Thanks to everybody. This has been a fun conversation. I honestly didn't think it was going to be this fun, but it's been fun. All these different questions. So yes, thanks for everybody who submitted questions to us. Please continue to interact with us on Facebook. It doesn't get us anything except for more reasons to kind of get stuff out to you guys. So yeah, share topic ideas with us. Share guest ideas. If you want to be a guest, just hop into our DMs or just talk to us because you all know us. But yeah, before we wrap it up, we do have, as we do with every episode, hot takes.
Hot takes.
That's so hot.
All right, you want to go first, second?
Let me go second.
All right. So my hot take requires a commitment out of you before I give you the hot take. It's not going to be bad. There's nothing physical that you're going to have to do. This is going to be good for you.
I'm not worried about the physical aspect. I'm worried about the fucked up shit you're about to ask me.
This is going to be good for you. Listen, my hot takes aren't usually fucked up.
All right.
Usually.
All right, fine. You got my commitment.
Full commitment?
I trust you.
All right. So my hot take is, and this is kind of a new thing. This is new for me personally, and I think this will be good for you, is that you need to develop a mantra. Do you know what a mantra is?
Yeah, kind of
General
like
gist of it, like
an ethos of life kind of a thing.
So I mean it in terms of you get a call from your boss and your boss just gives you a reaming, and obviously you want to be angry, you want to be vindictive, maybe you have these negative thoughts. So at that point in time, instead of being angry, instead of having these negative thoughts, instead of, in your case, the anxiety taking over, you have some sort of simple saying that you can say to yourself while slowing your breathing over the course of 30 to 60 seconds to kind of just reset your brain and kind of get you back into a better line of thought before you just react.
Yeah, I think that's a hell of a piece of advice. I think that's extremely applicable to me because I am very...
we all are. We're all reactive.
Yeah, I'm...
It's human nature.
And I'm pretty... especially when someone pisses me off, I'm very quick to...
Yep.
To be an asshole.
And sometimes that's not the best. And sometimes it's
No.
sometimes, I mean, it might be needed, but
That happened on Friday, actually.
yeah, if you could probably think it through, because what happens every time we always think of something better that we could have said afterwards.
Yeah, and you mostly feel like a piece of shit.
Exactly.
After the fact
So
anyway.
if you took 30 to 60 seconds, just slow your breathing, say whatever you're saying is, then you can maybe kind of recenter yourself and kind of get you back to thinking level-headed before you react too negatively.
I like it. That's a solid hot take. That's probably one of your best ones, I think.
All right. So with that being said, I have a few for you. You can choose one. Like I said, this is full commitment out of you.
I chose 4 for you. You could pick them.
I've actually got 6, 7. You get to choose which one you like.
All right, go for it.
And then we're going to update on our next episode if you have actually been implementing this.
All right, rapid fire.
All right. Number 1, I am in control of my thoughts.
Hate it. Go ahead.
All right. This too shall pass.
Meh.
I am safe in this moment.
Meh.
I breathe in calm. I breathe out tension.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to sound corny.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
One step at a time.
Okay.
I am strong. I can handle this.
Okay.
I let go of what I can't control.
Okay.
Anyone I'm speaking to you?
6 and 7, I think, are the.
So we got I am strong. I can handle this, or I let go of what I can't control.
I probably. Oh, they're both really good.
You can mix and match. You don't have to have just
I'm
one.
going to say 6 and 7. Those resonate the most with me.
All right, let's practice this. All right, I'm calling you. God damn it, Tyler! Why didn't you make that sale? No, don't give me a bullshit answer. Why did you not make that sale? That's $2 million. We needed that money. I am strong. I can handle this.
I am strong. I can handle this.
Deep breath. I let go of what I can't control.
I let go of what I cannot control.
This would be a great video. All right, no, you committed to it.
All right, I like it.
I've got a few for myself too, so that'll be good. I think it's a good. And obviously this is good for you because obviously I know you. I know you tend to be an anxious person.
Yep.
But I think anybody could benefit from this. Just slowing down. We're very reactive. You see this on social media, but you also see this just in real life. Somebody cuts you off. What do? You start honking and you flip them off.
Yeah.
What's that going to solve?
Nothing.
It's going to make you feel happy, or not even happy, just vindictive for maybe a millisecond.
Yep.
And then you realize, oh, that could have been an old lady, or that could have been a kid, and then, yeah. So I think just taking that step back and saying whatever your mantra is.
Oh, I like it. That's solid.
Good. Finish us.
My hot take is 100% different. Coming off of the win over Alabama yesterday, and UT stormed the field, ripped their field goal post down again.
I have thoughts about that.
I'm curious. So I'm kind of back and forth on it. Overall, I like it.
No, see, I am in the camp of act like you've been there before. Listen, when they beat them 2 years ago, it was a big win.
I will say it was more. I enjoyed it more then than now because it was more justifiable.
And when Vandy beat them 2 weeks ago, that was justifiable. Tennessee, you're only 3 spots behind them in the rankings. Act like you've been there before.
I guess I'm a fan of it when it is warranted. I don't necessarily think yesterday was warranted.
No, agreed. I've got nothing wrong with it. I just think, because, you're in the conversation for a playoff spot as a college football team. It's not like you are a one-win team and you beat a great team.
Right,
I think act like you've been there before. But by the same token, I was in college once. Let the kids have fun.
Yeah, I'm kind of with it. I mean, at the end of the day, man, it sparks camaraderie for your team.
It does.
The fan base, and there's a shitload of money in college athletics.
Yep.
I like it. One thing I don't like about it, safety aspect of the fans, the opposing team, stuff like that. Like taking.
No, they didn't throw this one in the river this year, did they? They just tore it down.
I don't think they let them take the goalposts out this time.
Yeah. Okay.
But the safety aspect's concerning, especially for the fans and the opposing team. Like you're just asking for something to kind of go wrong there. But overall,
it's a very big fine. Isn't it like $250,000 you have to pay to the opposing team?
It's progressive. I think it's $100,000 for your first offense, $200,000 or $250,000 for your second, and $500,000 for your third.
Jeez. Okay.
And I mean, dude, Alabama's getting paid this year.
Yeah, that's a good point. Vandy paid them.
They probably got $350,000 in free money from losing.
That's enough to get you another half lineman, maybe.
Yeah,
in the
right.
NIL.
Yeah,
Shout out to Dan.
But no, overall, I like it when it's warranted. It's exciting. It's fun. I like to see people passionate. Do it safely. Don't be fucking stupid. But
do you think last night was warranted?
No,
Agreed.
I don't.
I don't either.
I don't.
I mean, their next game. They're off next week, but their next game is against my team, Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
You beat Kentucky, you shouldn't be tearing down goalposts. We're not good this year, but they also have Georgia a few weeks after that.
Georgia would be more warranted than Alabama this year, just because Alabama's not playing that great.
It would be, but even then, I think if you are in the conversation to make the playoff, you beat anybody. It's not like you just crushed somebody that you shouldn't have beat.
I mean, you got it's more than just the game; it's the history of the rivalry too.
Yeah,
but,
no, it is. It is.
Overall,
right, good hot take.
That's my hot take.
I like it. And again, I mean, I sound like an old fuddy-duddy. Let the kids have fun, I guess.
I agree.
I'm okay with letting. I mean, they're college kids. Listen, some of them that might be the first game they've ever been to.
Get a little rowdy. It's okay.
Yeah, just be safe.
Keep it in the lines, but get a little rowdy. It's fine.
Yep, but make sure it's warranted.
Yes.
If you tear it down when you beat Kentucky in 2 weeks, I'm just going to make fun of all of you.
Yeah,
fans.
no, that's absolutely unacceptable.
Yeah. All right. Way to finish us there.
Yep.
All right, guys. This has been a fun episode. I really like it. Thanks for sticking around for a year. If you're new to us, go back and watch some of our previous episodes. Again, please give us ideas, thoughts, things we can talk about next year. We're only two brains, and believe it or not, our brains aren't that big or that smart. So give us thoughts. If you want to be a guest on the episode in the future, anything, it doesn't matter. If you want to talk about grass growing, I love mowing my lawn, so we can talk about that. Anything you want to talk about, shout us out and let us know.
Thank you for tuning in to Loggers and Loudmouths. Be sure to never miss an episode by subscribing to us on your favorite podcast streaming service. If you would like to provide feedback or suggest a topic for a future episode, please reach out to us at loggersandloudmouths@gmail.com.